Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into this live exclusive broadcast in which we are going to be looking at ducks. That's right, a duck. But not just any duck, the duck. This picture of a duck with flippers on has circulated the web for centuries, and today we attempt to decipher its meaning by completing a frame-by-frame analysis of the famous YouTuber Timotainment's 1-minute video on this webbed foot creature. If you want to see more videos of me doing stupid stuff like this, subscribe for subscriber. And now, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Here, in these first 5 seconds, we experience many emotions and information presented to us on the screen. On screen, we see first a river situated in a natural location such as some sort of forest or secluded area with high vegetation. Then we see emerge for the first time the duck itself. The duck is still partially submerged underneath the water, showing the duck itself is still hesitant to show its entire body. This sort of stage fright that the duck first experiences makes it relatable to humans, and even though the duck appears to be some sort of powerful entity, this period of hesitancy helps us mortal beings connect ourselves at first with the duck. Here we see the duck spin itself into the middle of the frame and stop dead center in the middle of the river. The duck stopping here shows he is unwilling to let life carry him downstream. He is going to fight the current of the river. He stops in the river and is silent, as if in mourning for all those who let the river carry them downstream and into bad paths in life. He is also starting to slow down his spinning, as if preparing for something enormous and grand, yet the duck doesn't do anything yet. This keeps the viewer on edge and adds mystery to the story, especially since the duck hasn't revealed his full body yet. What is this duck? What are its intentions? Does it mean good or harm? This layer of mysteriousness and information without proper context creates a blank and subtle canvas for the viewer in the rest of the video, and is quite brilliant psychological engineering by the duck's part. Here we see the duck for the first time completely in all of its glory. We also see its flippers attached to its feet, which could be a reference to flippers, which are commonly used by scuba divers as well as competitive swimmers in a way to help improve posture and speed through the water. We also hear some drums start to play in the background, and the duck spin flies into the air at an alarming rate. This could have been the entrance the duck was preparing for, but it could also be the duck symbolizing his spiritual thinking towards life. Instead of letting the river of life take him downstream or upstream, the duck instead flies out of the river and beyond, symbolizing the duck taking his own life into his hands and living out the remainder of his days a free-spirited individual instead of succumbing to the ups and downs of modern life. The duck's revolting taste for modern life is shown by the river he is exiting out of, which is polluted and full of garbage. Here we see the duck continue to fly up past the screen, and he makes what possibly might be one of the more controversial statements in this video. The duck starts talking about his political views on the freedom of speech. For those of you who can't comprehend the duck's versatile and complex language, the duck simply puts at the world having freedom of speech introduces a complex number of variables into the system of politics. These variables have the possibility to create mass destruction and chaos in the world, and the duck prefers a society where freedom of speech is limited. Even though through this sort of totalitarian government people's liberties would be very limited, it would ultimately be a more peaceful and orderly society in the eyes of the duck. Because in the eyes of the duck himself is the supreme leader of humanity, and everyone else are simply put mortal carbon-based life forms. In these next few seconds of the video, of which we are only 19 seconds into, the music increases into a sort of almost retro, kind of digitalized, upbeat music, which carries the duck throughout the rest of the video. We also see the landscape change into the tops of the forest that the duck is in. The main thing the duck addresses here adds on to what he was saying earlier about the pollution in the river. The duck shows the luscious green tops of the trees in the forest and ridicules humanity for its mass rate of deforestation, destruction of natural habitat, and other environmental hazards that not just threaten wildlife but our species as well. I apologize if I'm going too quickly. There's a lot of content to cover here, especially with what just happened there. I'm not sure if you were looking, but the duck with flippers flies into the air, up past the trees and into the air, and two other ducks of the same appearance join him in rising up towards the sky. One thing to note here is that the Timotainment watermark follows the ducks up into the sky. While the watermark being a character is usually a staple of Timotainment videos, the duck, he kind of uses the watermark following him as a prime example of commercialized life in modern society. Advertisements to make money are thrown in our face almost every second, and the duck is disgusted at the abuse of marketing campaigns using complex schemery and tricks to brainwash the consumers of products worldwide. Also, the significance of two other ducks being added into the mix only magnifies the issue and complicates the story. This part many people have found, sort of hard to interpret, but the duck could either be saying something very important about, individuality, or something about the complete opposite. Once again, sometimes you can never tell with these sorts of things, which adds to the mystery I was talking about earlier. Here the duck flies up past the skyscraper, and his duck companions that were in the previous shot vanish. It is unclear why they vanish. The duck could be making a statement on how nothing is forever, everything goes away eventually. However, others commonly debate over this part of the video and say that the reason why the other ducks disappeared was to shed light on the various fundraisers and charities the duck supports. Anyways, the message in this shot isn't too complicated, and it's pretty easy to understand compared to some of the other stuff the duck says and shows. Basically, what the duck is saying is, because the duck is super small in the shot, he is highlighting the insignificance of the individual next to the modern corporation skyscraper, which is taller and bigger than even the duck himself. Here we see the duck rise above even the skyscraper, the symbol of industrialization and wealth, showing that the duck is an immensely powerful being and views himself above all of humanity's petty squabbling. The appearance of the sun in this shot is a reference to Ra, the Egyptian sun god. By the 5th dynasty to the 25th and 24th centuries BC, the god Ra had become one of the most important gods in ancient Egyptian religion, identified primarily with the noon sun. Ra was the god of the sun, order, kings in the sky, and he was portrayed as a falcon and shared characteristics with the sky god Horus. Here the duck is back on ground level in the city streets. We see a truck in the background that says the word duck on the back of it. The truck that says duck on the back of it is a clear reference to the duck, which is the main character of the popular television franchise, The Duck, as well as the duck clothing brand and the animal that lives in water and land and is a bird. Lexington 48-inch wood dining table oak, rectangular square, wood dimensions 48 length times 32 width times 30 height inches. Seats 4 people. Rubber hardwood offers durability. Select from available finish options. Simple square legs. Versatile design complements many styles. Standard height works with most dining chairs. Assembly required. Here we see the duck in space, towards the very end of the video, attempting to fly at light speed towards some sort of destination in space, which is unknown. At last, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the final shot of the video pertaining to the duck, and it seems that in fact the duck has saved the best for last. Throughout this video, the duck has said and shown us some remarkable things, some thought-provoking things. Some of them are his opinions, others are facts, others are just mysterious in nature, but nothing has the duck shown us more strongly than this last shot, which shows a red duck, a blue duck, and a yellow duck spinning in space. Now, to someone completely normal, this means absolutely nothing. But I am watching this video, and I have deciphered the duck's final meaning here, pertaining to humanity, and I will explain it for you here today. Earlier, the duck transcending in hypersonic light speed towards the destination, and suddenly what happened was the duck just transcended through space, and then it appears this puzzling image of these three ducks. It just appeared, these three ducks. What do the three ducks mean? Nothing we can understand right now, and that's the point. Humanity has gone through a lot, from being apes in caves to learning agriculture to forming society and eventually reaching the Industrial Revolution, where we now have transformed into something our ancestors would have never dreamed of. The duck is showing us the next step for humanity, which is into the stars. Humanity will likely undergo a change in evolution that we are unable to comprehend now, just as our ancestors would be unable to comprehend our modern world today, much like the well-acclaimed film 2001: A Space Odyssey, which documents humanity's transition to something unrecognizable. The duck shows this exact same thing, except instead of a giant space baby, the duck shows us three different colored ducks, which is something equally unrecognizable. The future, to us humans, should we choose to accept it, is in our hands, which is what the duck, a rotating duck with flippers on, is trying to tell us. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, Timotainment has made the Duck 2 video. If you want me to do another analysis of the duck using that second video, there's a lot more information I can cover about what the duck's trying to say. I just think that the ducks it's a very interesting topic. The duck really clearly has a lot to say about humanity and, everything that's going on, especially today. And I just really respect that. That's why I really wanted to make this video. Especially that last part. That was just breathtaking. But anyways, if you want me to make one on the Duck 2 video, let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos. Thanks you for watching, everybody. I can't believe I'm doing this. Didn't I actually just sit in a room and talk about a duck for 30 minutes? What the...